So the topic for today's session is liver. It is the largest gland in the body and second largest organ. Largest gland and second largest organ. That's the introduction. As regards the location is concerned, but before location we will talk about its weight. Weight, some say reddish brown. If you see the body, you will find it brown. Okay, grayish. So that's the color. Weight almost 1.5 kg. 1600 grams in males, 1300 grams in females. That's the weight. Location. Now these are the 9 quadrants. It completely occupies the right hypochondrial area, and apart from that, it extends up to the left hypochondrium, passes through the hypogastrin also, and is in there in the right lumbar area also. So four quadrants it occupies. Okay. The morphology of the liver now we will be studying. The liver is divided into right and the left lobe by falciform ligament and ligament. All of us know falciform ligament is derived from ventral mesogastrium. Liver develops so falciform ligament and lesser ventral. Right? Inferiorly by ligamentum teres. This ligamentum teres is the left umbilical vein. There are 2 umbilical veins in the fetal life. Left is left behind. Okay? The right disappears and the left is left, and that left forms the ligamentum teres. Now the next diagram is about the posterior surface of the liver. Next diagram is about the posterior surface of the liver, and that diagram I want all of you to draw with me, because I am going to draw it 2 times, 3 times. Okay? The posterior surface of the liver. What we have to do is, look here, start from here, the falciform ligament comes superiorly, goes like this. Firstly just observe, don't draw, like this, again come to this point, go below. Okay, this is the fissure for ligamentum venosus. Go above, again, this L shape is the attachment of the lesser omentum. Lesser omentum from here in the L-shaped way goes to the lesser pelvis. Okay, then come here, go down, come up, and here. Okay, I am going to draw it again. So, like this, come on, draw with me, like this, go to the left, this is left triangular ligament, come back to the center, go, this is fissure for ligamentum venosus. This is porta hepatis, complete the porta hepatis, fissure for ligamentum venosus. Go for the bare area and come up again. Okay? So, falciform ligament, what is this? Left triangular ligament. What is this? Fissure for ligamentum venosus. What is this? porta hepatis, fissure for ligamentum venosum, bare area of the liver, and back. This is called as right triangular ligament. Okay? The ligamentum teres runs like this. The ligamentum teres is here. So this ligamentum teres goes here. So we said the liver is divided into two lobes, right and left, by falciform ligament anteriorly, ligamentum teres posteriorly and inferiorly, fissure for ligamentum venosum posteriorly. This is fissure for ligamentum venosum, and the gallbladder is here. Clear? So here I use two words, and posterior and inferior. Okay, so now let us talk about the surfaces of the liver, mainly the right lobe. Anterior surface, superior surface, right surface. Anterior surface, this is right surface. Okay? Now, if I draw a line like this at the level of porta hepatis, port from where things go in, come out. Porta hepatis because portal vein, hepatic artery enter from here, right duct comes out. Porta hepatis. Fissure for ligamentum venosum. So this, when I draw horizontal line, above this is posterior surface, below that is inferior surface, because here I cannot draw it in a three-dimensional plane. So posterior surface is like this, and inferior surface goes slightly like this. So this will be slightly like this. So this is called inferior surface. So this hole may appear in one plane, but there are two surfaces here. This is posterior and this is inferior. And this is superior surface. Okay. Now let's talk about just before that. What is this ligamentum venosum? What is ligamentum teres? Umbilical vein. It is getting oxygenated blood from the placenta. Now, why do you want to give the entire blood to the liver? Because it gives blood to the left branch of the portal vein, and from there arises this ductus venosus. This ductus venosus goes to iris. So the blood in intraembryonic life will come from placenta, will pass through the umbilical vein, ductus venosus, and then to iris. Here, iris I have drawn here. Iris. Here is iris. So from here it goes to the iris. From iris it goes to the heart and then distributed all over the body. So we want to bypass the liver. Ductus venosus. Like in embryonic life, you must have heard in the thorax, there is ductus arteriosus to bypass the lungs. To bypass the lungs, because lungs are not oxygenated. So why to send so much blood to the lung? So there is ductus arteriosus, runs from pulmonary artery to aorta. So directly we bypass the blood. So some blood goes to the lung for its development. Here, why do we want to take the whole blood in the liver? Normally in our body, the GI blood is taken to the liver by the portal vein where it is processed. Now here already the mother has sent all the processed nutrients. So we want to bypass the liver. So ductus arteriosus is there to bypass the lungs. Ductus venosus is there to bypass the liver and blood directly goes to the eyes. This is gallbladder. Here are two more lobes of the liver. So we said right lobe, left lobe. And here is a lobe called as caudate lobe. Caudate lobe, and here is a lobe called as quadrate lobe. Caudate lobe and quadrate lobe. Now, as regards the relations of the liver are concerned, these three surfaces, superior, anterior and the right surface, will have three relations. They are related to three structures, while posterior surface and inferior surface are related to five structures. So there are total five surfaces. Of these five surfaces, three surfaces are related to three structures, and remaining two, which are more on the posterior and inferior side, they are related to five structures. Now let us see the structures which are related to the anterior surface. Anterior surface is here. So one rib cage, anterior surface. One rib cage. Two, covering all of this is diaphragm. One rib cage, two diaphragm. And now see here, the liver is going up to the left side. So somewhere here will be the xiphoid process, and the other side rib cage. So in between here, the liver is related to the anterior abdominal wall. So 3 is anterior abdominal wall. Clear? Anterior abdominal wall. Rib cage, diaphragm, anterior abdominal wall. These are the three relations of the anterior surface. Now I am going to talk about three relations of the superior surface. One, the superior surface now, because I had drawn it little technical, but actually it is like this. So it is related to one diaphragm. Two, pleura and lungs. And 3, heart and pericardium. Heart and pericardium. Okay? So the base of the two lungs will be here, heart and pericardium is here. So 3 structures related to the superior surface. 3 structures for anterior surface. Now 3 structures to the right surface. Now let us study what are the 3 structures to the right surface. Right surface is divided into upper 1/3, middle 1/3 and lower 1/3. Throughout the 3 1/3 is diaphragm. Then in the upper 1/3, middle 1/3 is also pleura, and in the upper 1/3 only is lungs, pleura, diaphragm. So it is also related to three structures: lungs, pleura, diaphragm. But how will you talk about this? The lower one, upper one third, lower one third, and middle one third, all three related to diaphragm. Middle to one third is related to diaphragm and pleura, and upper one third is related to diaphragm, pleura, and lungs. So what is this? Costodiaphragmatic recess. So this is the space which you see on the X-ray. This is the space which becomes full first whenever the pleural effusion starts. So first sign of pleural effusion is the costodiaphragmatic recess disappears. Okay, so now let's go fast on this. Anterior surface related to three structures: anterior abdominal, rib cage, diaphragm, and anterior abdominal wall. Superior surface related to three structures: diaphragm, lung and pleura, and heart and pericardium. Right surface related to three structures: diaphragm, pleura, lung, diaphragm in all thirds, pleura in upper and middle one third, and lung in only upper one third. Clear? Now let's talk about the relations of the posterior surface. On the posterior surface, here will be the impression of the esophagus. Impression of esophagus. Then two fissure for ligamentum venosus. The boundaries of the caudate lobe, fissure for ligamentum venosus, portal point is IVC. Okay. So three in the caudate lobe is the right crus of diaphragm. Right crus of diaphragm. Okay. So right crus of diaphragm. 4 eyes and 5 in this bare area. Now here will be the kidney in the posterior, in the inferior surface, and here in this bare area, suprarenal. Suprarenal. बराबर है ना? यहाँ the kidney is here, so in the Morrison's pouch we put the hand. Above kidney is suprarenal. So the bare area of the liver is related to suprarenal. It's okay now. Concentrate here. It's okay. So now coming to what is this surface? So if esophagus is here, the stomach. So gastric impression or stomach. Stomach will come like this, and quadrate lobe. Behind the quadrate lobe is duodenum, first part. You are realizing what we studied in the last lecture, and the duodenum then goes like this. Second part. And the relation of the second part will be the gallbladder. Please add that. Gallbladder. Second part. So first part of duodenum, quadrate lobe. What is there in quadrate lobe? Right crus of diaphragm. What is there in the quadrate lobe? First part of duodenum. What is there in the bare area? Suprarenal. And so one, stomach. 2, first part of duodenum. 3, gallbladder. 4, kidney. And 5. What will be 5? What will be 5? What is this answer? Ascending colon, hepatic flexion, transverse colon, Splenic flexure, descending column. So what will be here? The hepatic flexure of the colon, or you can just write colon, and in the bracket you can write hepatic flexure. Okay, so stomach, duodenum, gallbladder, kidney, hepatic flexure. Stomach, duodenum, gallbladder, kidney, hepatic flexure. On which surface? What about the posterior surface? Esophagus, fissure for ligamentum aneurysm, right cross of diaphragm, IVC and supra. So these are the visceral relations. But I have told you that before you write visceral relation, every time you have to write in the abdominal organs peritoneal relations. So liver is an intraperitoneal organ covered by peritoneum. Anterior is a falciform ligament runs from anterior abdominal wall to the liver. And posteriorly there is fissure for ligamentum aneurysm. There is porta hepatis. Ligamentum there is fossa for gallbladder. So then they ask you, what are the bare areas of the liver? So now bare areas. Bare area number 1. Bare area. Not covered by peritoneum. This also, because peritoneum is going like this, peritoneum is going like this. Bare area 2. Bare area 3. Fossa for gallbladder behind bare area 4. This is the major bare area when we talk about this. Therefore, I have written in fun. And fissure for ligamentum aneurysm, porta hepatis, fossa for gallbladder. Then these are also bare areas. Okay, the triangular ligament, the left triangular. What is left triangular? Peritoneum from here goes above, from here goes like this. So this area remains bare, invisible. Okay. Here up to this point. So in the peritoneal relation, liver is an intraperitoneal organ except for few bare areas. And we are going to talk about the ligaments, and that's all about the anatomy of the liver. Okay. So 2 lobes, 5 surfaces. Okay. 3 surfaces having 3 relations, 2 surfaces having 5 relations. Blood supply of the liver, 80% comes from the portal vein and 20% comes from hepatic artery. Then in the exam, actually you are supposed to hold the liver by putting the forceps in the IVC and holding it like this. Okay. Hold the forceps in the IVC and hold it like this. With that, they will ask you, what are the supports of the liver? Supports of the liver. So students start telling falciform ligament, right triangular ligament, left triangular. These are not the supports. What for your peritoneum hold can hold a 1.5 kg liver. So the support of the liver is the 3 hepatic veins. Actually, the IVC passes through the liver, okay, and the hepatic veins open into it like this. So they have almost hang the liver. So hepatic veins surrounding viscera. There is small intestine, colon, stomach. So all these surrounding viscera hold the liver in position. Surrounding viscera and intra-abdominal pressure. These are the 3 supports of liver. Okay, those 3 supports of liver: hepatic veins, surrounding viscera, intra-abdominal pressure, which is by the anterior abdominal wall. So venous drainage is by the three hepatic veins. With that we come to another interesting point about the liver, and that is the development of the liver. Development of the liver. So this is the foregut, maybe medial junction near the pancreatic muscle. So from here arises from the foregut, not at the junction of foregut and medial, from the just behind that point. Okay, just behind that point arises a bud from the foregut. This is the foregut, and this bud further divides into two buds. Hepatic bud and cystic bud. The cystic bud gives rise to gallbladder. Hepatic bud doesn't give rise to liver alone, because this hepatic bud enters into a structure called as septum transversum. It enters a structure called as septum transversum, and then the hepatocytes are formed. So hepatic bud gives rise to hepatocytes. So hepatocytes are developed from hepatic bud. Okay. Septum transversum gives rise to the capsule of the liver, which is called as Glissen's capsule, and the reticular framework. It gives rise to Glissen's capsule and the reticular framework. And then there are some umbilical and vitelline veins passing through here. So this broken umbilical and vitelline veins, they give rise to the sinusoids of the liver along with the hepatocytes. So sinusoids. So liver is derived from three structures. Hepatic bud arising from the foregut, which gives rise to hepatocytes. Septum transversum, which gives rise to Glissen's capsule and the reticular framework. And broken umbilical veins and vitelline veins, which give rise to sinusoids along with the hepatocytes and the reticular framework. So three structures from which the liver is developed. Okay. Cystic bud gives rise to gallbladder, and this origin of the bud ultimately forms the common bile duct. This part forms the cystic duct. This part forms the hepatic duct. Okay. Okay. Now coming to the next point, which will be again asked to you, the histology of the liver. Now the liver histology, there are three things. There are hexagonal, lobules. In the central portion, there is the hepatic veins. Okay. Now in this hexagonal structures, there are hepatocytes running like this. What is there in between the line of hepatocytes? Sinusoids. Now what at the corner of each hexagon there are hepatic vein, branch of portal vein, hepatic artery and pulse. Okay. So now this portal vein, branch of the portal vein will release the blood here. This blood nutrient, hepatocytes will absorb the nutrients, and then after the nutrients are absorbed, the blood goes to the central vein. Central veins unite to form hepatic vein which joins the iris. This is how portal vein brings the blood from the GIT and it is released in the sinusoids, where sinusoids are lined by hepatocytes. They absorb the nutrients. Okay, in between here are which cells? Supper cells. Then there are keto cells, IEO, which absorb vitamin A. Okay. So this portion drained by a central vein is called as hepatic lobule. Portion drained by one hepatic vein. So this hexagonal thing is called as hepatic lobule. Not portal, hepatic lobule. So three things you have to know. What is hepatic lobule, what is portal lobule, and what is hepatic acids. Histology of liver is all about these three things. Hepatic lobule. So I told you hepatic lobule. It is the area drained by a central vein. Now I unite these three central veins and I find a triangle. So what is the triangle? In between this triangle is a triad. These are called as triads. In the porta hepatis there is a triad. Portal vein, hepatic artery, bile duct. The branches of this triad and tributaries of this triad are here. So there will be one portal vein, branch of portal vein here. So this portal vein branch will send blood to this central vein, this central vein, and this central vein. Am I correct? So this area supplied by a branch of the portal vein is called as portal lobule. Is called as portal lobule. So hepatic lobule is area drained by central vein. Portal lobule is area supplied by a portal vein. Okay? Am I clear? Now look here. A hepatic artery runs like this. Hepatic artery runs like this. Okay? Now consider this area. What is this kind of shape called as? My maths was weak. That's how I came into medicine. So, आपका सबका वीक है, सब मेरे जैसे हैं. So this area is the area supplied by one hepatic arteriole. Hepatic acids. So you understood three things. Area drained by one portal vein is, area drained by one central vein is hepatic lobule. Area supplied by one portal venule is area supplied by one hepatic arteriole is hepatic acids. Maybe for portal acids also, but hepatic acids. We should use word hepatic acids. Now here there are three zones. There is interesting thing. अब बोले तो ये इतना सब आप क्यों सीधा रहता है फायदा है. In case of poisoning, they take forensic specimens, they do histology, and there they study zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. So if poison had only reached zone 1, it was mild poisoning, intermediate, severe poisoning. So lot of poison was given, it would reach up to this. Malnutrition. Malnutrition in these zones, we see that if in all the 3 zones the fat is being absorbed, then it's a glycogen is being absorbed, severe malnourishment. Okay. So this is about the histology. Now coming to the last part. What is the last part? Of course, there are surgical, physiological lobes. There are radiological lobes and surgical lobes of the liver also. Now that is for your own reading. Coming to the applied anatomy of the liver. Congenital anatomy. Main congenital anomalies are in the position of the gallbladder, and liver may have an extra lobe. Okay. Investigations. Palpation of the liver. Liver normally exactly runs along the rib cage, so not palpable, but a moment it increases, it becomes palpable. SGOT, SG, medical hepatitis, A, B, C, D, E, these types, these are 5 hepatitis. अगर आपको भगवान ने ऑप्शन दिया कि तुमको कौन सा ए बी सी डी, हाँ ए, सबको ए चाहिए. E is also waterborne. Okay, waterborne disease. Because in Mumbai, all the drainage is also underground. Drinking water is also underground. So some cross connection. Yeah, hepatitis is on. But what you don't want? B, C. Get vaccinated. You are coming to the hospital campus, get vaccinated. Surgical hepatic amoebic liver abscess. Now, why this is going to happen? Because all the blood to the liver is coming from portal vein, 80%. So any amoeba, anything can also come to the liver and cause amoebic liver abscess. And last point is amoebic liver abscess, surgical, so that has to be drained, operated, and last is cancer, hepatic cancer. With that, in between we forgot the most important thing, and that is cirrhosis of liver. क्योंकि दारू पीने से liver खराब. I don't know how many of you saw शराबी or this movie शराबी by Amitabh Bachchan. किसी ने नहीं देखा? That famous song दे दे प्यार दे, one और जहाँ 4,000 मिल गया. So that always he keeps on saying that दारू पीने से liver खराब. So people drink alcohol once, then next day get up, okay, कुछ नहीं हुआ है, सर तो पोखर में हमको डरा रहे थे दारू पीने से liver. But then every time, because why liver gets spoiled? Because liver is also a kind of a, not excretory, a detoxifying organ of our body. So whatever toxins does, liver deals with it and manages it and sends it out. Excretates, alcohol. Crocin is a safe drug because excreted by liver. Ibuprofen is a bad drug excreted by kidney. So a person can get kidney failure by taking painkillers. But then if he takes crocin, liver is quite, resilient, benefic. So cirrhosis of liver, what is happening is this is the liver and then there is cirrhosis. So now the portal vein blood which is going in, what is the target? To give the this thing and go to IVC. And in between now there is lot of cirrhosis. So there is portal hypertension. So before you reach medicine, you are knowing systemic blood pressure, hypertension. After coming to medicine, you have learned two more hypertension, pulmonary hypertension, and now today you have heard about portal hypertension, which occurs due to cirrhosis of liver, congestion. So portal hypertension, then there is ascites, fluid in the abdomen. Okay. So with that we finish the liver. Another short topic is there. Anybody please? That is gallbladder. The gallbladder parts are fundus. So the inferior border of the liver, in our anatomy of the liver, I forgot to mention, it's only the inferior border which is prominent, all others are rounded. A small portion may project below the inferior border, that part of the gallbladder is called as fundus. Then this is body and then there is neck of the gallbladder. Okay, neck of the gallbladder, where gallbladder functions for concentrating the bile. Bile is for digestion of fats. And then there are, like kidney stones, there are gallstones, which occur in fat, fair, fertile, female, at age of 40. Okay, so fat, fair, fertile, female, and she is the one susceptible to gallstone. So typically you are sitting in a surgical OPD, a fat female, some pain comes in and says, either. So then you have to understand pain here, female, age of 40. So there are some doctors, they will so moment patient is entering like this, fat female, also. Okay. So here there are two hepatic ducts. They unite to form common hepatic duct, and then the cystic duct joins, and then there is common bile duct, CBD, common bile. So you will come across medical when you go to surgical line. Oh, there is something in the CBD. CBD is common bile duct. Divided into three parts. By what is this organelle structure? Of course, it is far higher up. I have just drawn it lower down. Divided into three parts by what is this structure? First part of the divides it into three parts: supraduodenal, retroduodenal, and infraduodenal. Okay, so I am just correcting this little bit. Supraduodenal, retroduodenal. ऐसा गलती से क्वेश्चन आ गया, CBD इसको बोलते हैं एक्स्ट्रा हेपेटिक biliary apparatus. You have to talk about gallbladder, you have to talk about hepatic ducts, common hepatic and common bile duct, and then you have to write about this anterior relation. दिमाग लगाओ. First part anterior relation, supraduodenal part liver. Retroduodenal part, what will be the anterior relation? There is question may answer. First part of the infraduodenal part, what will be the anterior relation? pancreas, because it goes behind and then the substance of pancreas, head of the pancreas, and then opens. Right? 3 anterior relations. Posterior relation will be portal vein. उसके पीछे क्या है? Portal vein. Inferior vein of the. Okay. Development is from the hepatic bud. Development is from the hepatic bud. Applied anatomy I have already told you. And that's all. Exactly 9 o'clock, and I stop here. Thank you so much.